Milwaukee Black Talk. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of adjustment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I have a, are we calling it an augmented show or a short show? Oh, at 4:15, hopefully he'll make it. I've got Linnell Ramey, the executive director of Mentor Greater Milwaukee. I'll have him on the phone because he's so busy doing stuff about this mentoring symposium that's going on January 24th, and I'm going to let him talk about it, and you can sign up and attend. And if you're interested in being a mentor or getting a mentor or having a mentor or anything like that, you can check it out. So he'll be talking about that and where it is and all those fun things that I think will help you really understand what mentoring is. And, of course, this is National Mentoring Month here in America. So make sure you check it out. Make sure you're here about 4:15 or so, round about there, when I'm done with my top five. Well, no, not top five. My open, Dr. Ken's Truth. I'm a little subdued because as a black person, when another black person accuses you of being an Oreo, like that guy did yesterday, or woman, I don't know if it was a man or a woman, of acting white or acting too white, or you're not black enough, or not black because whatever, your education, your money, your ability to speak the King's English, you're an Oreo. And if you really think about it, I don't really care. And so I started going through different places, and I came across a response someone gave in, is it Quora? 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 I could never figure out how to pronounce it. Anyway, So somebody put a note in there and said, when a black person calls another black person an Oreo, what do they mean by that? And there was a response by Camille Moore, who has a master's in social work from the University of South Carolina. Gamecocks go. All right. And the response was this. It's very insulting and ignorant to think that all black people should talk in Ebonics or slang. And right away, I would need to correct her that Ebonics is not slang. Ebonics is a sublanguage, but I'll digress. Or only listen to hip hop and R&B and have a ratchet ghetto attitude. I hate that people associate blackness with how black people from that four-letter word, the H blank blank D that I don't pronounce, hood, portray themselves. If you don't act like you from the hood, then you're not black. I lost count of how many times people, now this is Camille Moore speaking, of how many times people have asked me why you talk white, why you act white. And I remember when I was in high school, this black guy in my class would ask me stupid questions like that. I also had a black girl in one of my classes tell me that I wasn't black because I listened to white people's music. A lot of ignorant black folks think that black people should only listen to hip hop and R&B. Yet when they see a white person listening to hip hop and R&B, there's no black backlash. Or should I say blacklash? White people have more freedom to be who they want to be than black people. They get to bump Tupac, Wu-Tang, Michael Jackson, because, Jason's working today. Kendrick, everybody. In the car, loud, music, windows down, in the summertime. Nobody says anything. But if a black person bumps Evanescence or Paramore or Blink-182, black people look at them like they're crazy. I also have witnessed the black girl in my college course get weird looks from people when she admitted that she loves country music. Not only did she get weird looks from black people, but she got weird looks from white people in class. I wonder how they look at Beyonce today. A lot of the stereotyping that I went through and that I've seen others go through has caused me to hide my love for certain types of music. So when I get in my car and I decided to a bump at 1980s rock song, I tend to lower the volume when I get to the stoplight or to the parking lot. Not only to be respectful, but also because I know that I'll get weird looks from people. It's really sad that us black folks can't be who we want to be without being judged. And the sad thing is the black people that are judging us are very ignorant, because when you look up the history of rock and roll, it is one of the genres that was indeed created by black people. However, it doesn't matter who created it if you love the music. And so if you love the music, you should have the right to listen to it, regardless of what race you are. Now, this is me. Today, it goes beyond that. It goes to how you act, how you talk, how you speak, how you look. I had somebody question why I shaved off my beard and mustache because I wanted myself to look like I was white. Because real black men have hair on their face. Wait, what? Ridiculousness. And we have to put up this with people who are supposedly educated. And so right away, the talk and text line says, it's because, Tony says it's because black people associate bad qualities to black people and good qualities to white people. So if you're smart, you're white. If you do things right, you're white. If you speak in a formal way, you're right. You're white. And I guess right too. And at first, I almost had the sense to be hurt by somebody saying, you're an Oreo. And then I thought about it. You have to be pretty jealous or pretty upset at somebody to call them out of their name because you don't have what they have. You got to be pretty narrow-minded to be mad at somebody else because they have something you wanted, and instead of you going to get it, you call them out of their name. And so as I thought through and I read that article, I said to myself, I feel okay. It just gave me another time, especially in 2025, that I refuse to back down to be different because someone else thinks or wants or needs me to be. I'm going to be 110% who I am. And there's a message to those of you who have an issue with that. And I need you to use the deepest, darkest recess of your mind to come up with where and what I'm saying. And it's only 6 words. I'll just tell you now. If that's what you think, you know where you can go.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices. Milwaukee Black Talk.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Happy New Year means a lot of rough days ahead for those who suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Plenty of gray, frigid days on the horizon where we all just want to be snugly and warm at home. That's where Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin comes in. Their inviting doors welcome friends and family into a cozy home thanks to Pella's gorgeous, energy-efficient windows, keeping the cold out. Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin showroom today so you can learn the Pella difference and get inspired on making your home more energy efficient and beautiful with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Hurry, you only have until January 31st to score Pella's New Year's special. 0% interest for up to 3 years. Certain restrictions apply. Visit PellaWI.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because their home policies help protect your dreams and come with peace of mind. Save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote from an agent at amfam.com. Products are not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
And that was my mindset all year. Involve Giannis every single day.
Gruber Law Offices presents Thanalysis.
There's never been another person like me.
A podcast from Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
So why would I try to change?
Also supported by Carbless, premium ready-to-drink cocktails.
I just got to involve Giannis.
And Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee.
There's never been another Giannis throughout the history of the game.
Subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
Now is the perfect time to join the Nextdoor family. Whether you're a parent seeking the best for your child or a professional ready to make a difference. At Nextdoor, children thrive in small classrooms with 2 teachers, exploring art, music, and STEAM. With special needs support, family resources, and kindergarten readiness, every child gets the attention they deserve. And they're also hiring. Enjoy competitive pay, great benefits, and opportunities for personal and professional growth in a fun, welcoming culture. Make a real impact in the community. Join Nextdoor today, where every child, every family, and every team member matters.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I've never seen a diamond in the flesh. I cut my teeth on wedding rings in the movies, and I'm not proud of my address. In a torn up town, no postcode envy, but every song's like gold teeth, gray goose dripping in the bathroom, bloodstains, ball gowns, trash in the hotel room. We don't care. We're driving Cadillacs in our dreams, but everybody's like crystal, Maybach, diamonds on your timepiece, jet planes, islands, tigers on a gold leash. We don't care. We aren't caught up in your love affair, and we'll never be royal.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Oops, I'm sorry. I wasn't supposed to play that song. I guess I'm showing myself to be a Oreo. My guest today is none other than Linnell Ramey, who is the executive director of Mentor Greater Milwaukee. Good afternoon, Linnell. How are you?
Hey, brother, how are you, sir?
I'm good. You know, so I was at work today and I was doing some stuff, and I said to myself, well, wait a minute. It's January, it's Mentor Month, and I'm pretty sure there's some heavy activity at Mentor Greater Milwaukee. Can you give us a bit, and if y'all don't know, this is the same Linnell Ramey who's on the Truth Roundtable and all that stuff, so who harasses me at least once a month. So don't
do that, man. Come on, don't say that now. Come on.
So can you give us, like, what's going on? First of all, what do you do, and why should people in Milwaukee care about mentoring?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me, Ken. And you're right, it's National Mentoring Month. This is the time that we advocate and lift mentoring up across the country, actually. But it's really a way to recognize and make sure people all understand the importance of what mentoring does. So it's really about understanding the importance that mentoring plays in the role in every young person's life throughout their life. And that's what we're attempting to do, is make sure we're lifting that up in storytelling, activities, events, and different things like that. And Mentor Greater Milwaukee really does that just in training, advocacy, and recruitment all throughout the year.
And so this year, on January 24th, you have a symposium that's going on. And
absolutely.
Tell us about it, and where will it be? But really, who is this symposium for?
Thanks, Ken, because I think sometimes people don't understand. This is a little bit for everybody. Anybody who thinks they want to support young people, and let's be very clear, young people is really about anybody age 8 to 24. And so when you're thinking about serving someone in that capacity in any aspect, that's what mentoring is about. So 2025 Mentoring Symposium will be held at the Bear Center this year on Friday, January 24th. We'll be starting the day at 8:30. We'll be going to 3 p.m. So 8:30 to 1 o'clock. You have an opportunity to do workshops. You have an opportunity to be involved in different experts, so to speak, throughout the community who will be joining us, and you can pick those workshops. And then we have an awards luncheon from 1:30 to 3, where we'll be featuring, just announced today, our fireside chat. Our fireside chat will be talking about champions for change and using mentoring as a tool to advocate for young people. And those speakers this year is going to be Mayor Cavalier Johnson, Chief Aaron Lipsky, Chief Jeffrey Norman, and it's going to be moderated by County Executive David Crawley. So we're super excited. People can go to the website to see more about the speaker side as well. I mean, we have phenomenal people from Marquette. We have people from Big Brothers Big Sisters. We have people from MKU Fellows, MPS. We have an array and host of individuals who will be joining us.
And so people say, I don't want to hear about none of them. I don't want to talk to none of them. And what they miss is that they started where you are, and somebody like them took them under their wing and walked them through what they needed to do. But tell me about the vision people have. I don't want to hear from any of those people, but they're at the end of what their mentors did for them. We have some people that can start that, right?
And you're right, because, people get caught up in well, I did it this way, or I had it that way, or, they forget the old adage, right? Iron sharpens iron.
Right, correct.
Right? And when you think about the journey that we all have took, we all remember that one person or a couple people that helped us out.
Oh, yeah.
I won't be ashamed to admit it was multiple people to help me get to where I'm at.
Oh, yeah.
So but I think people need to remember, when you're working with a new generation of young people, we have to be in position to support them where they are. And what you're going to hear at these workshops is a variety of different ways people have done that. Some people will tell their story on what they've gone through, whether it was peer mentoring when they were in the 80s, but how they have used peer mentoring models now. Some people are going to talk about what they do in the classroom. So this is going to be a number of different topics that people can really just come and learn. So when they want to step in front of a young person, they'll be in position to really support them.
And it's really not about age. It's not about race. It's not about gender. It's about all the things you've experienced in life, and that no matter what it is, someone has been through it, has made it through, and they can help you through too. Correct?
And thank you for saying that too, Ken, because sometimes we think, I know for a fact that mentoring gets tagged for quote-unquote at-risk youth only, right?
Right.
This mentoring is for every young person, man. And this is, I don't care if they're 0.4 or if they're a 4.0 student. So we want everybody to be in the building to make sure they're hearing the different ways that they can support young people on their journey in life. And we feel like this is the best way to do that.
January 24th, 2025, 8:30 till 3 at the Baird Center. The Mentoring Symposium, 2025 Mentoring Symposium, brought to you by Mentor Greater Milwaukee. So if I want to sign up for that, how do I do that?
You can go to www.milwaukeementor.com, and it's right there on the homepage.
All right. Well, thank you much. I appreciate you.
Well, I'll be over there to pick on you soon, so I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, I thought about that. So I said, let me take that back, because then he'll be hollering at me, him and Nolita, and Tony be hollering at me in a minute. So, all right, take care and have a great rest of your day.
Started.
Yes, that is true.
You too, brother. Thank you again.
All right, take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
And so that's the Friday, the 24th of January at 8:30 a.m. till 3 p.m. at the Baird Center, the 2025 Mentoring Symposium. I've been to a couple of them, and they're going to be doing Champions for Change. Jeff Norman, Aaron Liskey, and Mayor Cavalier Johnson, and David Crowley are all the county executive, the police chief, the fire chief. They're going to be talking about how they got where they are and how people helped them get where they are, and that somebody had to either hold their hand or kick them in the, in order to move them forward to get them where they needed to be. And so many times we tend to forget that all that we have was because somebody sacrificed something. I think about, and I tell it all the time, people have done things that I didn't know they did, and then later found out they did it and wondered why. And their response was, well, somebody did it for me, so I thought I'd do it for you. And then you need to do it for somebody else. And so that's what I've done. And so I've been able to, behind the scenes, do a lot of things for people because they were done for me. Not looking for anything in return, not looking to, set somebody up for something or quid pro quo, but just a simple, you do it because it's the right thing to do. And so if you're interested, if you want to hear from a powerful group of people, if you want to know what's going on, if you want to have sessions that talk about mentoring and a positive effect and look at resource tables and engage in mentoring and community progression, how does mentoring move through a community from kids in 4K and families with single parents all the way through to success. Like, how do you do that? How do you do that? How do you become a champion? And how ironic is it that the mentoring champions are people who themselves were mentored by multiple people? Because there's no way you're going to get to command staff without somebody pulling your string and tapping you on the shoulder and saying, hey, you're the one. Or in law enforcement, or and I don't know what they do in firefighting. I guess they do it in firefighting. You have a rabbi, somebody that says, I'm going to take you under my ring and I'm going to be your guy and I'm going to give you all of your advice that you need. Or your girl, right? And I'm going to give you all the advice and I'm going to give you what you need in order to make sure you succeed. And so what does that look like? And so Friday, all you have to do is roll through the 24th of January at the Baird Center. It'll be there. You can register online. You can sign up. You get a meal. I don't know what the cost is. I should probably look at that. I don't know what the cost is, but check it out. I'm going to try to make it on that Saturday. I'm going to try because I haven't checked my schedule, so I don't know what I'm doing that Saturday or for Friday. But I think it's going to be something that everybody in Milwaukee, if you are looking to have a mentor, be a mentor, receive a mentor in the middle of, don't even know what it is. What is a mentor, right? You need to be there. You need to check it out. For me, my mentoring was Boy Scouts and scouting. And if it hadn't been for that, I can almost guarantee, no, I can't almost guarantee you, I can guarantee you, I wouldn't be here today.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
Prostate cancer screening is a simple blood test. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Your family history of prostate cancer increases the risk for all the men in your family. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Prostate cancer is most treatable when it's detected early. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Men, it's your life. That's why it's so important to talk to your doctor about getting tested. If you want info on how to take action, the Prostate Cancer Foundation is here to help. For more than 30 years, PCF, a leader in scientific breakthroughs, has funded cutting-edge research that speeds new treatments into clinics, helping patients live longer with fewer complications. Go to pcf.org to learn more about prostate cancer and how you can advocate for yourself. Remember, it's your life, and it's a simple blood test. Get it done.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey. Nathan has taught me to embrace the moment. Age-wise, I'm in my late 60s. I'm old enough to be his grandfather. Will he be embarrassed to acknowledge me as his dad? I think the most important thing we can do is let them know that they're safe, that they're valued and cared for and loved, and that they're important.
I knew I wanted to be adopted by him because of how he taught me to be the person who I am today. And it's coming from a dad that didn't expect to become a dad, and I feel very proud to be his son.
That was what he needed, and he was what I needed. Every day is full of new opportunities. That's what it's been about, realizing the simple things that it takes to make such a huge difference in these kids' lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Westbound 94 backing up out of the Marquette, pretty much from 16th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. The eastbound side's got heavy traffic from 76th Street through the Stadium interchange as well, past 35th. Southbound 43 backing up a bit between Fond du Lac Avenue and the high-rise bridge. Got the northbound side slowing down around the North Avenue curve, heading up past Sutter Street. The rest of the system actually looking pretty good. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 14. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high of 30. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. Milwaukee Bucks are back at it tonight as they will welcome in Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs to Pfizer Forum tonight. According to Chris Haynes, Chris Middleton is expected to play and will come off the bench for the Bucks tonight. Tip time set for 8:30 this evening. Over to college hoops as the 7th-ranked Marquette Golden Eagles get a come-from-behind win over Georgetown on Tuesday night at Pfizer Forum. This one by a final score of 74-66.
Cam Jones in the lane, kicks out Chase Ross, open three, pure. Oh, baby, that's sweet. Marquette within one.
Next up for the Golden Eagles is a matchup at DePaul next Tuesday. And lastly, we'll stick with college hoops as UW and Panthers look to bounce back tonight. They get set to travel out to Fort Wayne. Tip time scheduled for 6 p.m. That can be heard right here on 101.7 The Truth. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I wish that I was bulletproof. I wish that I was bulletproof.
I'm tripping on my words and my patience, writing every verse in a cadence to tell you how I feel. This is how I deal with who I once was. Now an acquaintance, think my confidence is in the basement, trying to keep it real. Cause I'm not made of steel. Yeah, I'm fighting a battle within, and I don't know where to begin. Oh, a monster inside of my skin, and I don't know where to begin. Oh,
I wish that I was bulletproof. I wish that I could wear a mask and face the truth. I wish that I was. I wish that I was bulletproof.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. You know what I was thinking? It's like giving somebody something and putting it in an envelope, sealing it, and then handing it to them. Like what?
I was trying to be respectful, Dr. Ken.
How's that being respectful? Like, why do you why is it your generation tax respect on everything? Oh, that's so disrespectful. Like, what? What is that? Help an old man out. What is that?
Because respect is everything.
No, it's not.
All you have in life is respect.
And if somebody gives it to you, if I got my own, I don't need yours.
You got to give it to get it, right?
No, you don't. You give it, and I don't care if somebody gives it to you. That's their problem. Let them deal with that. But if your ego's riding on it, then you want respect from somebody else.
Well, Dr. Ken, you should want respect from everybody.
Why?
They don't gotta like you, but at least respect me.
Why? What if you don't care about either?
Well, then I guess I never met nobody who ain't cared about respect.
Think about what is respect?
That's a deep philosophical question right there.
It's not a deep, it's a definition, dude. Use Google, use ChatGPT.
That's a deep philosophical question right there. If you really want to get down to the roots of what respect is.
Right.
Now, let me look up the real definition.
A feeling of deep admiration for someone or feeling elicited by their abilities, qualities, or achievements. Due regard for the feelings, wishes, rights, or traditions of others. The true meaning of respect. Treating someone with respect means showing regard for their abilities and worth. Valuing their feelings and their views, even if you don't necessarily agree with them. How can I give something that you believe value when I don't believe in it?
You can at least respect the fact that I believe it.
I don't care.
You don't have to agree.
I don't care. Accepting them on an equal basis and giving them the same consideration you would expect for yourself. Respect begins with oneself.
The golden rule.
What? Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you.
Yeah.
How about do unto others, don't expect them to do unto you, and that way you always do right.
Well, I don't even know if you have to expect it, but it is. You do want it.
If I do unto others as I would have them to do unto me, that means that I expect them to do something for me if the time presents itself. I don't care. If I don't expect, and then if you do it, I'm elated. I'm happy. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. But do I lose respect for you because you didn't do it? Absolutely not.
I can understand that. That was a good point right there.
I don't lose respect for you because you decide you don't want it. We agree. We disagree 110%, 180% opposites on something. I'm going to now stop liking you, stop respecting you, stop saying stuff to you, stop speaking. Like, what is that? We just witnessed all the thing about respect with the election. Right? So watch this. I know all the Donald Trump haters and the Donald Trump lovers are going to come out. So yesterday, Donald Trump gave a news conference. And one of the reporters said, well, are you going to use to take over Greenland and you want Greenland? Are you going to use military force? And he said, no. Like the way that he answered it, by the time it made it in the news, it was that Trump wouldn't say whether or not he would use military force. That wasn't the question. But that's the kind of idiocy that journalists do because they're always trying to make a person look bad because they don't like a person. Why would I trust your journalism or respect you when you've already shown me that you don't have the decency to report from the middle regardless of how you feel? And so America has been disrespected by journalists all over the country, and nobody really calls them out. Nobody really says anything. And then if you say something, oh, you're not respecting that person. Wait, what? So we've this whole respect thing, I'm like, man, you got to fall out. And I mean, if you only work to get respect from somebody else, one, that's an ego problem. Two, that's a confidence problem. And three, you're probably not going to get it anyway. And so if you're not going to get it anyway, like, what are you doing? Anyway, 833-212-1017 is the number. Al, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Well, the first thing I was going to say is I think everybody has something to say, but I do respect you for dropping some facts. I think we can do more damage if we can find a certain standard and figure out how we could bring people to their knees. But with the way the world is going, I think the best thing to do is challenge their logic, because one thing people cannot deny is logic. Prime example with
that is not true, Al. That is not true. You can be the most logical person in the world. If somebody is stuck in the way they're doing something, you ain't gonna change their mind.
Well, that might be true too. For a prime example, we have all this racism going on, and they want to use certain groups of people to try to push their agenda because they really know the real enemy is the person they see in the mirror. So I would say, what makes you feel that you are saying this about black people is even relevant when the people who look like you've been doing all the things? You mean
like wearing a shirt that says "Don't be racist," but yet you're white, and so how do you wear a shirt that says "Don't be racist" unless you're around people who are racist?
Something similar to that. Or I'm gonna try to give a better example. When people say, "Well,
this my example," I'm gonna give a better example.
No, I didn't. No. But our thing where they say, well, the projects is for black folks, but we say, well, actually, when the projects was put together after the Great Depression, they didn't allow black people to live in it with whites, and they didn't say it was for blacks until the whites moved out to the suburbs. So you have to challenge what they speak. Or a prime example, they say, well, the immigrants is doing everything. But yet all the things they say they're doing is the people who look like they kin folks. All I'm saying is challenge them. See, they don't like challenge, and they don't like people who have strong personalities and questions, because when you challenge people, front line. And I feel that's how you could bring people to their knees. That's why they're trying to remove history, because they know what the real history is. That's all.
All right. Thank you much.
Have a good one.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is Sherwin Hughes from The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. And Truth Nation, you can now watch my show live on YouTube every day from 9 a.m. until noon. Yep, you can get 3 full hours of watching Sherwin doing his thing streaming live on YouTube Monday through Friday. You'll get the same insightful conversations about policy, politics, and lifestyle while also seeing my reaction to the unpredictability of our listeners. So go to YouTube right now and subscribe to 1017 The Truth and see this wonderful smile live every day.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucks fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge-of-your-seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at Bucks.com/tickets. That's Bucks.com/tickets.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and listen. I just want someone to yap to. And I just feel like I'll be fine if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us. But try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. White Widow, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. How are you?
Very good, Dr. Ken. You know what? As far as an Oreo cookie, I met that gentleman yesterday at the City Hall. I was down there again with that request for information at the Treasury Department. So the gentleman you just had on, I'm sorry, I should have wrote the name down again. I'm old, that's okay. But I met him yesterday, and we had a delightful conversation. And I mentioned 101.7 and Dr. Ken, and he said, that he does do those forums with you once a month. And I said, oh, great. And another gentleman was there. I said, yeah, that Dr. Ken, he's the devil's advocate on steroids, right? And the guy next to him, and he laughed, he said, yeah, he is. But we all agreed that it's a challenge, and it's great to have someone who is, devil's advocate, but, I see traits in individuals where I love this trait, where they're pragmatic. And oftentimes I like that character, and I believe you have that. But I was an inside-out Oreo cookie in the plant. The brothers gave it to me. I was in that plant for over 20 years, and the brother who gave it to me, I still talk to him on Facebook. He moved to Mississippi. So, and mentors, they're really important. Mr. Smallings at Washington High School for the short time until I dropped out. Daryl Glenn, he was in Messmer. I was in Stuyven. At the smart, very brilliant young black man taught me about, John Coltrane, Claude Brown, Man-Child in a Promised Land, made me read, and there was nothing in the game. And he went on his life. He had a fellowship at UWM. I was lucky to have those people wanting to take the time and pause in their lives and, enhance mine. So that's all I got to say today.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you much.
You take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Just sitting here taking some notes because people dropping a little bit of knowledge today. And I mean, sometimes it's you, sometimes it's somebody else. Right now, it's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Happy New Year means a lot of rough days ahead. I know we got some snow coming in a few, and some of us suffer from seasonal affect disorder, plenty of gray, frigid days on the horizon. That's coming Thursday, Friday. We're going to get snow. It's going to be cloudy, and we all just want to be snugly and warm at home. But that's where Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin comes into play. Their inviting doors help friends and families into a cozy home. Thanks to Pella's gorgeous energy-efficient windows, keeping the cold out, Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside and as comfortable as it is on the inside. So no matter what, you can celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. So make sure you hurry. You only have until January 31st. It's already the 8th. You have until January 31st to score Pella's New Year's special. What is that? 0% interest for up to 3 years. That's it. 0% interest, up to 3 years. Certain restrictions apply. How do you find all that information out? You go to PellaWI.com. Just visit Pella, PellaWI.com. Simple. 833-212-1017 is the number. Let me hit the talking text line and the chat. I haven't checked That don't even sound right. Checked on the chat. I haven't checked on the chat. That Dr. Ken, have a wonderful evening. That's right, Doc. So Dr. Ken, you have some okay. You see this, rich Auntie Nina? Dr. Ken, you have some beautiful golden skin. I'm a chocolate shade perfection. However, I see how people look at me and turn up their nose at lighter skinned blacks. It's sick and emulates self-hate. I agree, Al and Rich Auntie. Did I just stumble into something? I think I just stumbled into something. So I don't think of myself as light skinned. And then somebody looked at me like, fool, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, no, seriously, I don't look at myself and everybody's like, what? You're dumb. Like, I don't understand what that means.
Dr. Ken, you are light skinned.
Okay. I've never thought of myself as that. Ever. And somebody hollered at me, like, what is wrong with you? It's like, okay. Are we going to have a real show one day about, maybe we'll do that in February, colorism. We're going to have one on ageism. We'll have one on colorism. We'll have one on sexism. We'll have one on, we'll do all the isms in February, right? Get it all away, because, well, watch this, because it's less days, so I can get away with it faster. So I'm just saying. It makes no sense to me. Makes no sense to me whatsoever. People actually give you attitude because of your skin color? Like you're lighter than them or darker than them? Like, really? I mean, I've heard of it and I know of it. I've just never experienced it. Seriously, I've never experienced that. So I've never known what that was. Wow.
Think about like on the TV shows, you know, for example, think about My Wife and Kids.
Right.
And they had a dark-skinned Claire, and then out of nowhere, they bring in a light-skinned Claire. And it seemed like that's like a reoccurring theme when it comes to film and television, that they replace the dark skin.
But maybe it was just
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that didn't have anything to do with race. She was being a so-and-so, and she was difficult, and they got rid of her.
But it looked bad because it looked like he was going from the dark skin to the light skin.
But who notices that? Did anybody else notice that?
It's on a lot of films and TV shows.
Wow. Okay. Talking text line says, we need to get rid of this subculture that have plagued the black community for years. We have allowed Pookie and Ray Ray and Shaniqua and them to lead our culture to be so undesirable. This behavior became so tainted, we are allowing rap music in churches. Well, I don't know if rap music per se is bad. Certain types of rap music, just like music per se isn't bad, but certain types of music are bad. So I wouldn't drill that far down into it being rap music, because I've heard some good gospel rap. I'm just saying, right? So I don't know if I would agree with that, but I understand your point. Fonz goes on to say, Al leans on his pro-black attitude and anti-Christian rhetoric to not address his homosexuality. Even if you don't believe in God, nature says you can't produce with the same sex. I don't know if that plays a part in it. I mean, people are who they are. And what was that word you used earlier, Jason? Respect. As long as you respect it. And I don't think anybody has done anything that was, detrimental. See, I almost did it. I glanced up and I thought, wait a minute. And then I realized, hey, trying to tell the time. But we need to grasp an understanding of culture, and that no one gets to tell you what your culture is. No one gets to say you belong in this culture and you don't belong in that one based on whatever they believe it to be. That just makes no sense to me. You don't get to tell somebody, and you have freedom of speech, so you get to do it, but I don't know if people will examine it or embrace it because of what you said. I don't understand that. I don't get it. Maybe I'm just too light skinned. Is that it? I need some more sun, and then I can understand the world.
You know that phrase, like you acting light skinned or you acting dark skinned.
Really?
And then light skin, always, if you acting light skin, I mean you acting all emotional and sensitive and all of that.
Wow.
If you acting dark skin, you all reckless. It's crazy.
Wow. It's unfortunate. It is. Talking text line said Claire was on the Cosby Show, which she was.
No, I'm talking about Claire off of My Wife and Kids. It's a Claire on My Wife and Kids.
I know, but I'm just reading, man. Don't be going off on me. It's because I'm lighter than you. Music is definitely programmed into the mind. Music makes you feel a certain way. It does. That was Auntie Vivian who was on Fresh Prince. Okay.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm talking about.
All the black women, okay? Anyway. The same with the daughter on the show, My Wife and Kids. They replaced her with a light-skinned girl. Wow. We're going to have to talk about this tomorrow. We're going to talk about just straight colorism. Because I'm tired of dancing around this and making it. Like, do you really get the whole colorism thing? Now, granted, we got top 5 at 5, and we only got like one more thing to do, and then we got basketball today. We got Milwaukee Championship High School Basketball playoff coming up. So we're not going to have time today to get to some of the things that we got to do. But we will get to the top 5 at 5. We will chop that up and talk about those things, and we'll come up with some things. But I'm still stuck on some of those. I got some news coming up. I got so much stuff, and I got to squeeze it into 15 minutes because we got to get out early.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices, Milwaukee Black Talk. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Noni Juice, and I am Milwaukee. The city of Milwaukee resonates with me deeply, not only because I was born and raised here and have beautiful memories, but because, much like myself, this city thrives on resilience and perseverance, often surprising those who overlook it. It was here where my journey started, and I learned to create my own opportunities, and I want our listeners to know that they have the power to do the same. So join me on Jammin' with Juice from 12 to 1 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk.
Truth Nation, let us talk our ish for a moment. There is no other station in the country where you get a front row seat to hear from some of the biggest names in politics, pop culture, and sports. People like Grammy Award winner John Legend.
Knowing that fight isn't over, knowing that we've got to stay motivated and stay inspired. Glory was the song that myself and Common wrote. Two brothers from the Midwest, from Chicago and from Springfield, Ohio.
Oscar Award winning actor Don Cheadle.
I know that we're the bright, shiny thing that sometimes gets the attention, but I would say don't listen to celebrities. You don't have to listen to us. Listen to yourself.
And President Donald Trump's son, Don Jr.
When did we have a strong economy? And I don't think anyone with a straight face can say right now. And the reality, when you look at it, it's not even voting for my father. Look at the team that's now surrounding him.
Tap into the award-winning and nationally recognized 1017 The Truth by downloading the Truth app and streaming us live at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. So you're on your own with the WASPs. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Truth Nation, stand up and tap in. This is 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, back and in rare form. I'm just checking out the talking text line. Don't forget about Family Matters, Harriet. I don't know what that means. Ooh, I forgot all about that. True. Most humans discriminated based on color or language, blacks, whites, yellows, reds, blues, crazy world. I am. Okay. All right. If that's what you mean and if that's what you say, I think tomorrow, I guess, hang on, let me just pick this up and put it over here. I think if we can deal with Oreo today, I guess we got to deal with what are we going to call it? Like, what's the topic? It's not Oreo. If we talking about skin color. I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. I'm just perplexed. I'm as perplexed as some of these stories I got to talk about today. I am totally perplexed.
Number 5.
So Ashanti Hamilton, this is from CBS 58, Ashanti Hamilton announced today, January 8th, that he has resigned from his position as the director of the Office of Community Wellness and Safety, formerly known as the Office of Violence Prevention. Hamilton tells CBS 58 he is no longer doing the day-to-day responsibilities in the office and is currently in transition with the city's Department of Administration. Hamilton resigned last week, and his resignation will be finalized by the end of this week. Hamilton is taking a position outside of the city in the private sector. So I don't understand if that means somewhere outside of the city, not in Milwaukee, or not working for the city of Milwaukee. And so whoever wrote that, y'all need to go back to the drawing board and figure out what exactly it is you're actually talking about.
Number 4.
From CNN Health, well, I had to read this because I love coffee. Drinking coffee has repeatedly been linked with better heart health, prolonged life, but the benefits of coffee consumption could depend on when you drink it, a new study found. Limiting coffee intake to the morning, it turns out, may be best, and that seems to be regardless of the amount consumed and other potentially influential factors, according to a study published yesterday in the European Heart Journal. This is the first study testing coffee drinking timing patterns and health outcomes. We don't typically give advice about timing in our dietary guidance, but perhaps we should be thinking about this in the future. So if you time it right, y'all can drink some coffee, drink whatever you want. Now, guess what? They're going to change that next week. Well, actually, I have a study that says this. So, I mean, drink less coffee, drink more water, and I don't know. After that, what is it most doctors tell you? We'll see.
Number 3.
This from WISN.com. Wisconsin Republicans are pushing to make voter ID part of the state constitution. Okay. GOP lawmakers are looking to push the question before voters this April on voter ID. The move would make it more difficult for Democrats to repeal or loosen the law, a fear Republicans have if liberals maintain control over the Wisconsin Supreme Court in April. The state Senate is expected to vote on the measure Wednesday. If it passes both chambers in the coming weeks, the question will be put to voters in April. The provision has already passed the legislature last year. A constitutional amendment must pass 2 consecutive sessions of the legislature before it can be placed on the ballot. And so what are your thoughts? Should we keep voter ID? It's not an issue. I want people to show me who it disenfranchised. Did it? Yes, it did. It disenfranchised some people. And then they got free IDs and new IDs and IDs from the county, and they included different types of IDs. That was something Scott Walker did, and I think he bumbled it. Like, poorly. He bumbled it because we're not going to include these IDs. And now you're trying to stop people from voting. And if you want people to vote with an ID, then you need to include certain types of IDs they can use. And so they did it, and it included, like, it actually didn't include school IDs that were from state schools. Like, how stupid is that? It should include school IDs from any school, and now it does. Why? Because you have to go through federal financial aid and do all that other stuff, and you have to do identification. And so you know your school ID is your identification. And if it's valid, you should be able to use it to vote, and now you can. Why they need it on the Constitution as a constitutional amendment? Every now and then people do good stuff, and then they step in and they do dumb stuff, and now we got to look up at all this.
Number 2.
From WISN.com, you may have not have heard, Milwaukee police have arrested a 14-year-old boy for allegedly threatening to shoot up Pulaski High School on social media, authorities said. According to the Milwaukee Police Department, the threat was reported yesterday at about 8 p.m. Officers took the teen into custody. Criminal charges will be referred to the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office. Police did not release further details. Why? Because the person is 14 years old. Milwaukee Public Schools acknowledged the threat in a statement saying MPS is aware of threats made in reference to our school community. The district emphasized that staff followed protocol to investigate the situation quickly and identified those responsible, and safety is our priority at Milwaukee Public Schools. Maybe they should look into educating kids. Oops, I'm sorry, that slipped out. I'm sorry, that kind of just slipped out. I'm sorry. It just came out by itself. It was my mind was minding its own business, and then I looked up, and boom, and next thing you know,
Number 1.
From JS Online, believe it or not, and I can applaud this, 3 people, y'all got it? 3 people have submitted paperwork and signatures to run for the state's top education posts. If the filing paperwork of all 3 people is approved, a primary election between State Superintendent Jill Underly, Sauk Prairie Superintendent Jeff Wright, and education consultant Brittany Kinzer will be held next month. So here's what you need to know. Election dates are February 18th. Top 2 candidates will face off in the April 1st election. Hopefully, Jill Underly will not be one of them. Underly is seeking a second term. She served as the state superintendent of public instruction since 2021. She's the reason why, one of the reasons why I won Best Radio Show and won a second place, because she actually was able to send her kids, because she could afford it, to a private Catholic school, but she didn't believe that people in Milwaukee or people anywhere else in the state should be able to do what she could do. She's privileged. Like, she is the embodiment of white privilege. She's an embodiment of privilege, period. And I think it would be great if these 2 people ran against each other and they were the top 2 vote getters, because Jill Underly needs to go, because she let MPS get away with what they got away with for as long as they got away with it and didn't call them out and didn't do anything. And it's her fault that MPS is the way it is. It's terrible. And you know what I need to do? I need to go back and find that interview I did with Jill Underly. We need to pull it out, and we need to play it so that people can actually hear it. Good. We need to pull that out, because I don't think people understand what's really going on.
One call, that's all.
One call, that's all. That's right. Truth Nation, here's your chance to be the One Call, That's All 5K giveaway entry for today. Yes, you can be entered in to win $5,000 courtesy of Gruber Law Offices. Be caller number 5 right now at 833-212-1017, and you'll be entered in to win the $5,000 giveaway with the award-winning 1017 The Truth and Gruber Law Offices. Again, that's caller number 5. At 833-212-1017. Remember, if you or your loved one has ever been injured in an accident, call Gruber Law Offices now. Visit them at gruber-law.com. For official contest rules, visit my favorite place. That's 1017thetruth.com.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. On Wednesday night, the Milwaukee Panthers close out their road trip in Indiana as they take on Horizon League opponent, the Purdue Fort Wayne Mastodons.
Now Fultz, split 2 defenders, in the lane again, flips to score, finding an opportunity for a high percentage basket by squeezing his way.
Scott Warris has the coverage Wednesday starting at 5:30 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 6 o'clock.
Are you or someone you know 18 or older and need a driver's permit? Greater Milwaukee Urban League's free driver's permit classes can put you in the driver's seat. You'll learn the rules of the road from qualified instructors, moving you one step closer to successfully earning your driver's license permit. You may also qualify for free behind-the-wheel instruction. Classes are available December through March. You can attend virtually or in person. Visit tmul.org for more information today.
Is your washing machine not quite getting the job done the way you expected? Running your dryer over and over because it is taking forever to dry your clothes? Be frustrated no more, because Create Suds Laundromat in Milwaukee can get rid of all your washing and drying headaches. They offer new big load washers and dryers to reduce your cleaning time and even have free Wi-Fi for customers. Stop battling with stubborn stains and piles of laundry and visit Create Suds Laundromat. They are open every day from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m.
More than 6 million kids in the U.S. have ADHD, and many aren't getting the support they need. At understood.org, we can help. Sometimes in class, the only thing your child can focus on are the thoughts racing through their head.
Why am I always falling behind?
Why do I feel so alone? So different.
Your child is looking to you for answers. But as a parent, you probably have a lot of questions too. What should I do next? Where do I even start? At understood.org, we provide parents with the resources they need to help kids with ADHD thrive. Your child wants to thrive. Be the reason they do. Visit understood.org/thereason to get started.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. We're going to be rolling out of here at about 5. And music will probably start around 5:23-ish. And then we'll roll out, and at 5:27, you'll get all the information you need to know. And then at 5:30, you better be here for the basketball game. Right now. Or is it football game? Or is it soccer? Or is it hockey? I think you should stick around and figure out what you're going to do. You know why? Because if you don't, I'm going to come after you. You don't want that. You don't want that. 833-212-1017 is the number. RC said, call the show isms. Racism, vocalism. What's a vocalism? A vocalism? Is that how people talk? I don't know.
I know, I can see that people, like, you judging people based off of, like, the way they articulate
like
themselves.
If they have a lisp, or if they have a drawl, or if they do like me and stutter.
Vocabulary.
Okay. Colorism. That's what started all this mess. Colorism. What about heightism? Is there a heightism? People that are too big, like Shaquille O'Neal. There's some people that are too small because they call them little people. I don't care about a definition. This is dumb. What about weightism? Fat people or skinny people? Morbidly obese people and morbidly skinny people scare me. They should scare anybody. Or you can't call people this, or you can't call people that, and you can't call. I actually listened to somebody lecturing somebody about what they should and shouldn't do. And they went to tell me, excuse me, I said, if you don't get out of my face trying to tell me what I'm going to say with my words and my voice and my rights, get away from me. Well, it's not politically correct. I don't care what's politically correct. You say what you want to say. You have the right to do so. But what you're not going to do is question and tell me what I have to say. Well, anyway, Mexico's female president was bothered by Trump saying he would name the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. I say, why not? What are we going to do with the border of Mexico? Call it the American border. See, if you're coming from Mexico to America, it's the American border. If you're going from Mexico, if you're going from America to Mexico, it's the Mexican border. It's the border of the state where you're going to, not where you're coming from. Make sense? So I think we should call it the Gulf of. Now, this Panama thing, and I want to dive into that, and I want to remove Trump out of that because people are starting to talk about things, and they don't really understand what it is they're talking about. The Panama Canal, first of all, tomorrow is a day of mourning for former President James Carter, also known as Jimmy Carter. However, he should not have given the Panama Canal back to the Panama, to the Panamanian people. The Chinese have come in and taken it over, and now when American ships go through, they pay the most to get through the canal, because otherwise you'd have to go all around the Cape of South America to get to the Pacific Ocean. Now we have the Panama where you can just go right around through Central America and be done. But they only charge us the most money because the Chinese have moved in. Same thing with Greenland. There's a lot of fossil fuels in the North Pole, and a lot of other countries are going to get a hold of it instead of us. But why shouldn't they? Well, because they're communists and they like to blow bombs and kill Americans. But anyway. So we need to dive, especially in 2025, you know what I'm saying? We need to dive in 2025 into the politics and the policies and not the people. Look at how those things impact us as a people. Right? We as black people need to start to understand how policies around the world are going to affect us. We bought Alaska from Russia. Greenland is owned by Denmark, I believe. But we also bought the Virgin Islands from who? Denmark. You've got the Dutch Virgin Islands and the U.S. Virgin Islands. So it's not like it's unheard of. But one of the things we have to be careful for is world strategy in terms of taking over Europe. Do you realize that if China or Russia took over Greenland, they would literally surround all of Europe? They would be able to come in and take over those colonies. It's not by accident Putin is trying to go back into all those countries that broke away from the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. He wants to bring that back, so he has that collar around Europe, and Greenland cuts them off from all the resources, the oil, the gas, everything that our allies pull up out of the sea in the North Atlantic Sea. So if they're able to do that, then what happens? They control oil and gas, the same thing Hitler was trying to do, for all of Europe. They can basically shut it down. You ain't got money. You don't have gas, you don't have oil for your ships, your cars, nothing. Our allies. So we have to be careful when we start not liking something because we don't like the president or we don't like the governor. Y'all got to be careful, Republicans, when you start bashing Tony Evers about certain things. Don't like the policy, but leave the man out of it. Or don't just not like somebody because they're Democrat or because they're Republican. Look at the policy work they're doing. Look at the things that they're doing. And is it going to have a detrimental effect on your community? Because that's basically how we do. You know, black people aren't supposed to look at their community, but we're supposed to look at America when America's predominantly white. So if it's predominantly white, then it's not going to do us good by accommodating you. In some instances, not everything, most things are accommodating for everybody, but some things do actually accommodate just certain minorities. And in some instances, I think that's okay. But we got to live here, and we have to take a look at these policies and look at the long-term effect that they're going to have on our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren. Interesting. Just interesting. We're going to have to take a step back. And figure out what we're going to do with some of those countries that are on our side in Indonesia that surround China and Taiwan and Japan and Indonesia. It's a lot of things that are going on in the world, and black people need to become more aware so that they can put people in office and take care of things and understand why people are migrating to America and why they're moving into certain neighborhoods, things of that nature. So as we go through 2025, we need to make sure that we understand that this year is probably going to be one of the most important voting years, 25 and 26, because it's an off year. And that's when all the sneaky stuff at MPS happened. That's when all the sneaky stuff at the county happens. That's when all the sneaky stuff on a state level happens. I'm talking Republicans and Democrats, independents alike. That's when you need to open your eyes and your ears. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. MPS Championship Sports playoffs are coming up next, and then after that, we'll get to our regular broadcasting here. I want to say thank you to Jason. Appreciate you. It's been jamming doing the show. That's what's up. All right. Hey, God bless. Take care. I'll see you in 22.5 hours. Right here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. God bless. I'm out.
Check out Jammin' with Juice, where it's amazingly juicy.
No, that's beautiful, Jesse. If you ever need any host for any of these events that you have coming up, you should contact Jammin' with Juice. We'll be more than happy to host these events for you.
Listen, Jammin' with Juice, you are like top of my list. Now I know we're going to do a lot of fun stuff in a lot of years to come because